Good morning. So we want to walk through our develop a database or the database development assignment. What we have initially is this particular assignment, database development. You've already queried a database in the using databases assignment, so you know how that works. We designed a database in the previous assignment, the database design. So you've built an entity relationship diagram, and you understand the relationships. You put in fields, you put in primary keys and foreign keys, and you've put your data in. So you've put the tables together that you're going to use within your database, and then you've populated those tables with data. So now this is the next step. What we have, and of course you're watching one of these videos at this point in time, database development, the third database assignment in a unit, and really the second around the build of a database. Um, we initially designed it. Now we're going to develop it. Okay. And again, there's an example of the homework PDF, um, and that's the example is similar to the example for the database design assignment. Again, we'll go ahead and include your name. We need 3 tables. 2 of the 3 tables should contain at least 5 records, and so on. So we're pretty clear about that. As we look at this, we're going to come down here and say, we're going to ask you. I'm going to ask you to write a short narrative describing the database. You've already done that in the database design assignment. Copy and paste. You don't have to do any more. Just copy and paste. Provide the following schema elements: an ERD plus the key and table schema and table data definitions. You've already completed that from the database design assignment as well. Just copy that and paste it. It starts to get different. I'm starting to ask for different things when we get to question 3. Show the relationships as defined and it's displayed in Access. Okay, insert the data into your tables. Copy and paste or just type it in. Create 5 business queries. This is where it circles around to the using databases assignment. So we want 5 business queries, and we're good to go. Okay, so with that, let me go ahead and get to another spot. I'll put you on pause for a sec. Okay, we're back. Once again, this was the assignment, the database development assignment. Now, I thought it would be important to go back to our using databases or database design assignment and just remind you of what we were looking for. Now, remember we have the homework example in the PDF format. This is what that example, of course, looks like. I just wanted to remind you of this because we're taking this and using that for the database development. Your narrative, this is the ERD. Okay. Now with that, remember in that design, you have your tables and you've added the data. I'm going to go ahead and create a small database around this data set. I'm only going to add a couple of records just to make it quick and easy, and I'll do a little pausing and things like that as we build it. Okay, so this is what we're going to build basically, and this is the assignment that you're building or developing the database from. Okay, so I just wanted to be sure that we're clear on that. Again, I'll pause. Okay, I'm back again. So what we'll do, and it's a little off the screen for you, but I'll go ahead and access Microsoft Access. You can see I pulled up the start menu and you access Microsoft Access. Your access, may be different. Go ahead and build a blank database. Just select a blank database. And then what we'll do is give it a name. John's author database is fine. You select whatever you want. That'll go ahead and create that. Or just understand the default location. You'll want to go ahead and save that wherever you need to save that. You can select a different location. I'm just going to go ahead and select, I'm just going to create right there. I'm going to change the size on this a little bit, drag this down. This is what this database will look like. This is what Access looks like. What we need to do is go ahead and remember what our database should look like. Okay, we have authors, book authors, and books. Okay, from the second database development or design assignment. And I'm just moving that off screen so we can go ahead and see that. What I'll go ahead and do though is pull this back over. I'm going to create authors, book authors, and books. So I'm going to create AID and just simply F name or last name. Probably last name's easiest. I'm going to create this with the foreign keys. I'm going to create the book ID and probably just the title maybe, okay, of the text, just to make it quick. Okay, so with that said, there's the design, the view modes. You can go ahead and into a datasheet design, which is sort of like a spreadsheet that you put your data into, or the design view. Now, Access is funny because and it's not funny, it works correctly, but you need to enter the particular table name. So remember, we had authors, so I'm going to enter authors as this table name. Okay, that is the datasheet view, or I'm sorry, the design view. Okay, now ID, I'm going to have an A. I'm going to give that primary key. Notice a little key right there. That's the primary key. That designates the primary key. The primary key field name is A underscore ID. Now, change this. Change auto number, simply number. Click into the next field down, and we'll use LName. And the default is short text. You see that the field size and a lot of other information around that's not a problem. That's not a problem. Just leave it as is. Okay, so we're going to enter some data. We're just going to put those 2 fields in just for now. You should have 5 or 6 or 10 fields. Okay, so we're going to go ahead into the view, change the view. I have to save the table. Do you want to save the table now? Yes. So this is the datasheet view. Again, clicking datasheet and design. Design is how you build it. Datasheet is how you enter information. So I'm going to say ID1 and looking at my information, remember, scroll down. Author's ID1 is going to be Cahill. Okay, and 2 is Burroughs. So 1, I think I'm spelling this right. Cahill. Click in the next field, 2. Oh, not 20. I just want 2. Burroughs. I think that's spelled correctly as well. The little asterisk just means that's simply the next field enter or the next record to enter of information to enter. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and save it. Go up to create a second table, and this time I'm going to create books. I'm going to create books so I can create BID. Okay, and then so I'll go into the design view. It's going to ask me to give it a name, books, B underscore ID for book ID. Change the auto number to simply number. The next field is title, and that's a short text by default. And I'm just going to put ISBN. Actually, I'm going to put cost in, and that is currency. Okay, and I'm kind of skipped through that a little bit. At this point, I need to go ahead and save it. Right-click and save. Change my view to the datasheet view. This is just toggle, just back and forth, and toggle. Okay, so datasheet view. Book number 1 is John Carter, and 11. There we go. $11.99, and I'll just clean the rest of that up. The next one, 2, is how the Irish saved civilization. Interesting read. Good read. And $21.99. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll save that as well. Now let's create. Remember, we have authors, we have books. Let's create book authors. So we'll use a primary key to the foreign key, primary to foreign. Okay, create. Where am I at? Create, there we go. Table. I'm going to change the datasheet view, or design view, I'm sorry. And this is book authors. Okay, and then now remember we had A underscore ID. We simply want to make that a number. This is that linking table. Now we have B underscore ID for book author ID. That's also a number. Now we need to make both of these. You notice the little primary key? We need to make both of these a primary key because it's a composite. You need to hold the control button, right click, and let's see if we do this, and then so I switch the primary key, hold the control button, right click. Am I getting this? Oh, I might need to save this first. Hold on, I'm going to experiment just a little bit. First, let me go ahead and save it. Okay. I'm not getting what I need. Hang on. Okay, I always forget how to do this. This is kind of a unique deal. So if the primary key is selected, make sure that whole field is selected. Hold the control button and then right click on the next field. The other one that's going to be the primary key. Click primary key and you will see that both of those have a key. That means they're composites. Okay, they're a composite field. We'll go ahead and save this. Switch to this view, and this is where we're going to tie this together. We're going to say that author ID 1, which is who was it? Cahill, I think. Cahill wrote number 2, which is How the Irish Saved Civilization, and the second author wrote John Carter. Burroughs wrote John Carter, which is book number 1. Let's say that Burroughs also wrote another book that we had in the database. Maybe like 3. Okay, so that's where and we can't do that because I didn't enter number 3 as Tarzan, but this is how we go ahead and add the one-to-many relationship, the one being the primary key of authors to the many in book author, and the one book to many authors. That's how we tie that together. I'm going to go ahead and I hope that made sense. I'm going to delete that record. Okay, and so we just have this. Let's go ahead and save it. Now it's handy to go ahead and close this. Close it. Close it. We have our 3. We want to create the relationship. Let's go to Database Tools, Relationship. Select, and you can hold the control button. Select each one of the tables within that particular database that you have selected. Add them. Close. Now just simply click on AID, drag it over to AID. Create the relationship. BID to BID. Create the relationship. Okay, and then we want to go ahead and save that. Now what we can do is create one query that'll go between, we're at 13 minutes, so I'll go ahead and leave it right there. What we'll do when I come back is actually start some queries, and it'll probably take just 5 minutes to kind of verify that this works and start the query. Actually, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go ahead and do just that. Okay, so check out the next video in the series, and that'll complete where we are at this point.